What is up guys, Zach here from the Chaos Galaxy, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make your own trading card game on thegamecrafter.com. Now thegamecrafter.com is like a professional game manufacturing service that a lot of TCG creators, including myself, use to sell their game on like a sort of low-key hobby type level where the cards are made to demand and someone will order a pack from you, the Game Crafter makes that single pack, ships it out to them, and then continues to do a lot of that hard work for you. And in this video I'm going to show you how to make randomized booster packs and set decks, starter decks type thing for your game. This also is assuming that you've already got your game ready, like you've made the cards and got the rules and stuff prepared and you just want to take it to that next level. So the first thing you need to do is log on to the Game Crafter, create an account or log into an existing account, which I'm going to do. And it'll take you to your account page and you need to go on Make and then My Creations, which takes you to My Games. It'll then take you to this list of games, and these are all the games that you've made on the Game Crafter. So I've got each individual one of these is a separate Chaos Galaxy product, like a separate booster pack or separate starter deck. But if you haven't previously made any games, you'll get this box which comes up and says add a game. So I'm gonna call this game Tutorial, if I can spell, TCG. Add create game, and it'll take you onto this empty page. The game will also now appear in your list of games. And we've just got a blank game here. And what we need to add to our game is cards and packaging. So the first thing we're going to do is click Add Custom Component. And then this comes up and shows you every different item you can add to your game in the Game Crafter's catalog. So you've got books, tokens, cards. So we're going to start by heading to cards, and the size of card that I like to put in my TCGs is the poker deck size. Now this is 2.5 inches across by 3.5 inches up, and that's the standard size for most playing cards. It's the size of Pokemon and Magic the Gathering cards, and it just fits nicely with like deck boxes and binders and just makes it compatible with a lot of other trading card stuff. So I always go for poker cards. They also have a foil poker deck if you want foil cards. Unfortunately though, the whole deck has to be foil. You can't just have like a pack of non-foil cards with one foil in, unfortunately. So we're going to click add that to our game, and then the Game Crafter takes us to this untitled poker deck element page. The first thing it wants us to do is to upload a card back for our cards. So we're going to give that a name, and then we need to upload an image for the backs here. Now the images need to be 825 by 1125 pixels. Very specific. To get the right size card back for your game, you need to download one of the templates here, which is actually currently being covered up by my face, which is annoying. I normally use Photoshop to edit my cards, so I download that one. However, if you don't have editing software, you can go ahead and download this PNG one, and I'll show you how to work off that instead. And this image shows you the template of how the Game Crafter cuts out their cards. So we're going to take this image, and a really good free online alternative to Photoshop is pixlr.com. And we're going to start design project, open an image, and we want to take the Game Crafter template that we just downloaded, which as you can see is 825. It's the right amount of pixels needed for the Game Crafter. So we open this in Pixlr, and then I'm going to go and find the image for my card back, drag this on top of the Game Crafter's template, and this card back is the right size. Obviously you can resize and play around with it to get it spot on. But if we look at the Game Crafter's template, you can see we've got this outer red cut line, and that's the 2.5 by 3.5 inch border that the Game Crafter is going to cut out for your cards. However, inside that, we've got this blue dotted safe zone line. Now, all your vital information for the card should be on there, because the way the Game Crafter works, although the cutters are exactly the same size for every card, when they feed the paper in to print on, the paper can slightly shift sometimes. So the cards might not be centrally aligned, and some of the border might be like slightly cut off. And we don't want any information like card text outside of that border, as we risk losing it when the Game Crafter cuts your cards out. But for my example, if you see I just reduced the opacity on my card here, you can see I've got a grey border that goes to the edge of the safe zone, And then all the vital information like my illustration and the card text is all within that blue safe zone line. So once everything's aligned, we want to save this onto our computer, make sure it's high quality and that it's the right pixels, as you can see here, 825 by 1125, and then just save it onto your computer. What we then want to do is go back onto the Game Crafter and upload our card back. So we've got our card backs that are the right size, we'll open them, and now every card we make for Tutorial TCG will have this back. We've then got the option for randomization within the cards, we'll get to that later though. And the quantity of poker deck section, just leave that as 1. Then below the card backs, if we scroll down, we've got the card fronts. So again, they need to be the same size as the fronts, you can do that using Pixlr, but I've got a set of 20 example cards here from set 1 of the Chaos Galaxy that I'm just gonna hit upload, and you'll see them all load up. And then once that's done, make sure they have the back from deck, so they have the back of the deck we uploaded. And now we'll get to that randomization. So if you want to make a set product with the same cards in every single pack, like a starter deck or something, you want to click Deck Includes All Cards. And that means each pack will have these 20 cards in that we uploaded. We can then choose the quantity. If you want multiples of the same card, that's fine, but I'm just going to choose 1. And if you are making a set number of cards, make sure that the number of cards in your product are made in multiples of 18. But the Game Crafter does this because they print their cards on sheets of 18 at a time. And then if you have something less, say you want your packs with 12 cards in, you can put 12 cards in a pack, but it's still going to be printed on that same size sheet. So the price of your card pack will be the same as if you were to have 18. So for the best value for money, it's recommended to have 18 cards per pack, or 36 or 54 and so on. That's kind of easy. Now if you want to make a booster pack or something with randomized cards in, instead of up here saying that your deck includes all cards, click random cards. I personally like no duplicates in packs, so I'm going to click that. We then get this class system coming up here. So you've got 5 different types of class you can use. I'm just going to use the ones from Chaos Galaxy for this example, but obviously you use whatever your game has. You can leave one blank if you want to. So in this pack, like I said, we need 18 cards. So Chaos Galaxy packs have 13 common cards, 1 planet card, 3 rare cards, that's 17, and then there's 1 chance of getting a really rare card. Now really rare cards are only available 1 in every 2 packs, they're quite hard to get, but I'll show you how to go about programming this into the Game Crafter's website later. So we've still got the card backs. The copies of Poker Deck, we're using 1, which means we have 18 cards. If you wanted 2, that shows there, 36 cards total, and it goes up in multiples of 18. But 18 card booster packs, and then we scroll down to our cards and we have to organise our rarities. So card number 1 here, Manflaki, is a common. As you can see, we can click whatever we want here, but I'm going to keep him as common. Card number 2 here, Humongous Ancient Rockman, is a really rare. So we're going to click really rare for him. So now I've gone through the whole list and labelled the rarities of every card. However, we have 3 really rare cards in the set, and I want to only be able to get one of those in every 2 packs. So the way around this is, you go down to the bottom and you want to re-upload some of your common cards. We go back to our card list here and we want to duplicate the files of 3 common cards. We're going to go ahead and upload those 3 duplicates. So 1, 2, 3. Put them into our game. And now although these are common cards, we're going to set the class of those to really rares. So that although they're common, because there are 3 really rares and 3 commons in the ridiculously rare slot, there's now a 50-50 chance of getting one of each. You can kind of take this further and make cards really, really impossible to get. And although the downside of this is that it does mean you could get duplicate common cards, it just means that it allows you to make cards rarer than 1 per pack. So now that we've uploaded all the cards and chosen the rarities and things, we're kind of ready to go. I've actually just realised I've not used any planet cards in this example, so I'm going to set that to 0. get rid of that class overall, and I'll add another common card in. We've still got the 18 cards total, so there's still going to be a decent booster pack. Now that all our cards are uploaded, we're going to go ahead and proof them. So proofing, you click on that button and it comes up with the cut line and the safe zone for all your cards, and it's going to make you check through them before you approve these. So this all looks in order to me. I'm going to approve that, check through, make sure there's no spelling mistakes or anything. You don't want your customers to get wrong cards. Make sure all the information that's vital to the card is inside the safe zone, or the cut line especially. And we can just go through and do a sort of mass approval of these. Once you get to the end, it'll just take you back and tell you there are no more items to proof. And then we're done with all our cards, which is very exciting. So we're going to go back to the game, Tutorial TCG. And you can see in our components section, we've got a tutorial deck. We then want to add some packaging. So we're going to add custom component again. And we're going to scroll down to packaging. Now, there's lots of different boxes you can use here and go around and have a little play around with. There's even tins. But what we're going to do for our booster pack is obviously the poker booster pack. Now, make sure that if you've used the poker cards, you use the poker one. That's what I recommend. Poker cards are the size I recommend again. So make sure you get a booster pack that fits the cards. They again have a template that you can download and look at that has a safe zone and a trim line. And we're going to add this to our game. We'll make the tutorial TCG booster pack, and we then need to go and upload the image for our packs. If you need to go back through Pixlr and do the same process that we did for the cards again, that's fine. Just use the exact same process we used. I've got the set 1 booster packs for the Chaos Galaxy here as an example. We're going to upload that just the same way as we did with our cards. We're going to proof it. This all looks good. All the key information's within the safe zone, so we're going to approve it. So we go back to Tutorial TCG. And we've pretty much got all the components there for our trading card game. We've got an 18 card booster. Now let's say we don't want a booster pack, we want a deck box instead. I'm going to delete this, make sure you delete it, otherwise you don't want a booster pack turning up with an empty deck box next to it. That would just be annoying. But we're going to go add custom component again. Packaging. And then depending on the amount of cards you've got in your deck, you're going to need to choose the right box. There's two main types of box that the Game Crafter do. There are hook boxes, which as you can see here, I'll click on those. And these are sort of, I really like these, I think they're fun. So if we want a 36 card deck, we go on the poker size 36 card hook box. And we can go ahead and add this to the game. There's a little feature here where the Game Crafter shows videos of the packagings being opened. So as you can see, these hook boxes open with a little hook at the back. You open it up and that's how you get to the cards inside. These are a little cheaper than having tuck boxes, which is the next method I'll show you. These are the more traditional ones that you see in most TCGs. I really like the hook boxes though, I think they're quite fun. But most boxes you're going to be using really are the tuck boxes. So we've got the poker tuck box here again. Please make sure it's the poker deck size. And this is like a more standard kind of box that, if I just skip in here, that just untucks at the back there and you have the cards sat inside. So choose one of those boxes, obviously it's up to you. And then basically, although the template looks a lot more complicated than the one just for the cards, it's essentially the same process. So it might take you a while to have a look at and get your head around, but basically this is the front, that's going to be the top, this is all your back info, this is the base info, etc, etc. So we're going to go ahead and upload. I've got a battle box here for set 1, which I can use as the example. So once this is uploaded, we're going to go ahead and proof it. The front of the box design and all the side panels are within the safe zones on the back here, even the logo on the top and stuff. So that's all good. We're going to go ahead and approve this and add it to our game. As you can see, the price jumps up with all the elements you add, so you can see how much it costs to produce the games in general. But we're going to go back and I'll do a booster pack for this example. It tells you the price here for each one. There's then other information here, the production cost and weight and the fee. The game crafter takes a bit of money from you in order to produce the game. But we're looking at a booster pack costing $5.63 here. So if we want to make a bit of profit, I recommend like $6 or $7 for a pack. The only other option really worth noting is the surfacing here. So you can put a UV, an ultraviolet protective coating onto your cards for an additional 25 cents a sheet. I personally don't use this. I put all my trading cards into card sleeves instead, which protects them. I also think the natural feel of the card feels good when you're playing with cards rather than having a plastic sheet across the top. The linen texture is kind of nice. I also don't use this though. That's the kind of texture that playing cards have, you know, when they almost feel like a bit like they're sort of a woven fabric surface. But I just like flat card for trading cards. Most trading cards like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh definitely don't use this texture, so I just leave these blank. Saves you guys money. Yeah, I don't see the need in doing this. The next section up here is the sell option. So, unfortunately, before you can start selling your game, you need to buy it yourself. So in order to make sure that the game is correct and the cards look good and you've done everything properly on the Game Crafter's site, you must buy a pack of your own cards, open it, check through it, then publish it on the Game Crafter here. If you click publish, you must purchase a copy. Once you've done that, you can then publish the game and the general public will be able to buy it. But there's a lot of options here which we need to go through. So the vitals, obviously everyone's game is different for this sort of thing. Mine is a 1 to 2 player. The playtime is 0 to 30 minutes, and then the age, I click 12 plus. Pricing, so use automatic pricing. I don't know why the Game Crafter does this. I click no. I don't want to make $5 on every pack. I want to make the game as accessible as possible, so I make packs 6 or 7.99, $6.99, which does the maths here for you. So if you sell a booster pack for $6.99, it costs $5.63. The Game Crafter takes 25 cents, and then you as the designer will be paid $1.11 per pack. For marketing now, you need a short description for the game, 3 cool unique selling points about it, which I think are cool. If you've got a website, for example, I put the Chaos Galaxy YouTube channel's URL in here, and then you need a small image as an advertisement. And this image is the one that will show up when you search the game on the Game Crafter. So if I want Chaos Galaxy Set 5, this is the small image I'd upload. And I just think this basically needs to be a logo for the game, really. If you try too much, like there are some where, I think these are all pretty good examples here, but if you try and put like a whole shot of like loads of cards in the game, they won't really show up. So that's the marketing. You need to fill in any of these exclamation point ones before you publish your game. You can't sell your game if any of these are left blank. The shop page, now I'll show you this. So the banner image here, the shop backdrop, needs to be quite a large image, and this is when you click on the game here. This huge banner. So I think it's good to have your game logo, some examples of the cards inside, obviously a name and things you can get inside. So 100 cards to collect, all that good stuff that your customers would want to see. Put that in this image. The small one is the game logo. Now this is interesting because basically they have a game, the Game Crafter likes to have a small game logo here, but I think this gets in the way of the banner image. Let me show you an example. If I go on set 1 of the Chaos Galaxy when I first started making the game, you see I have this banner image here, which I think gets in the way of the nice illustration of all the cards. So I choose just to upload like a blank transparent image there. Just a PNG file, you can't do it as a JPEG unfortunately, a PNG file that's the right pixels but just has no content inside. Then a description of the game. I like to say here what the game's about, a brief overview of what you get inside the packs and some of the cool cards that you could potentially get inside the boosters. Action shots. These can be different sizes, but with a maximum 800 by 600 pixels. And if I scroll down here, they're right at the bottom. And I just like to put screenshots of YouTube videos from like me opening the packs to see what the customers can get. Once you've uploaded all this information, you'll have a finished game. And if we go back to My Games, we'll find Tutorial TCG. And we can go ahead and order one. So this is added to the basket. We'll view the cart. If we go to the checkout here, obviously I'm not going to buy this because this is just an example, but once you buy this, you will then be able to publish your game. So I think the best way to show an example of this is show you the page of a Game Crafter game that I've published for the Chaos Galaxy. Let's go to set 5. So we'll manage the game here. You can see that the game is published, and I can unpublish it if I want to, which I don't want to, but I've got all the pricing, marketing, all the information and the images you can see here. Shop page, you can see I've got these photos. This was probably more useful to show you earlier. Big description, and then some action shots. And then if we click on the title there, it will take us to the shop page, and this is what you see as a customer once you've done everything that you did in this video. This is what your game will look like too. So, thank you guys for watching. That's everything you need to know. If you've still got any questions about how to make a game or anything that was unclear, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to help out. But thanks so much for watching, and good luck to you if you're making a game on the Game Crafter. I very much like to just go on here and look what TCGs are new, quite often order them and open them on the channel. So if you've got any games coming out, can't wait to see them and hope this video helped you. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube. Well, obviously this is a YouTube video, but if you want to get your hands on some Chaos Galaxy packs, head to the Game Crafter. If you want some inspiration for your own TCG, maybe get a hold of a pack here.